Welcome to day 3 of getting to know yourself. So yesterday we said we're basically changing our perspective of who we are. And instead of thinking of ourselves as a body with a soul inside of it, we're going to start to think of ourselves as a soul covered with a garment called the body. And that's a change in perspective, and it takes time to think like that if you're not used to it. But we ended with why. Why is this useful for us? What is this going to do for us? So there's a book written by Rav Noach Weinberg, may his memory be blessed, called What the Angel Taught You. And it's also written with Yaakov Solomon. And it's 7 keys to life fulfillment. Now, he talks about the pleasures in life. I think he says there are 5, but he says the top pleasure, the greatest pleasure, is that experience of awe that you feel, that connectedness to something greater than you. He says here, now defining what awe actually is can be rather daunting, but perhaps it can be said that awe is the experience we feel when we merge our small, relatively speaking, insignificant selves with something that is much greater than us. We break beyond our limitations and touch something far more complex than ourselves, something truly unlimited, immeasurable. It is then that we feel connected to the unity of God. This first-class pleasure is categorically above everything else. It is the drive for ultimate meaning, to sense who you are in the great scheme of things, and to know that that place transcends the finite moment. That is the greatest pleasure available to us. That is the answer to our question, why do we care who we are? Because when we know who we are and we identify with our true selves and begin to sense who we truly are in the great scheme of life, then we are going to be able to experience the greatest pleasure available to us. That's why we care. If you look at this picture that I posted, it was taken in Idaho, where I was last summer. I was standing by the water, so if you look all the way down by the water, and it was basically just a feeling of me and God's creation all around me, of this beautiful nature. And I was so overcome with emotion and the realization of how small I am in such a beautiful place, but at the same time, in such a vast place, but at the same time, I was able to experience this awe and like touching closeness to our Creator, the Creator of all this. And I was so humbled by it, I just burst into tears. I just started to cry because there's something in that, the connection of myself, who I really am, my soul, to basically the soul of the world, which is God breathing life into each thing all around us, that created a feeling that really is indescribable. And I'm sure everyone has had that at some point in their lives, an indescribable, awesome feeling. And what I want to say is that pleasure is accessible really throughout the day. Maybe not in that, I mean, I don't live in Idaho, so I can't go out there every day and experience that. But in that moment but you can translate that in your day-to-day lives. And therefore, we need to take the step back and see, okay, now we understand the why. We want pleasure. We're pleasure seekers, as Rabbi Niven used to say in his class. And we all want to do that together. We want to experience the greatest possible pleasure individually and collectively. So stay tuned for tomorrow to know the next steps.